Picture this, it's the late 1800s. The streets of Paris are bustling with life, yet there's an underlying tension in the air. The city, known for its romance and beauty, is now shrouded in a sense of unease. France, a country still hurting from losing a war against Germany. The Franco-Prussian War has left deep scars, and the nation is struggling to regain its pride and stability. The year is 1894, a chill hangs over Paris but not from the weather. It's a chill that seeps into the bones, a pervasive sense of dread that something is terribly wrong. This chill is the feeling of fear, suspicion, and betrayal. Neighbors eye each other with distrust and whispers of conspiracy fill the air. The social fabric of France is fraying. It's the beginning of a huge scandal, the Dreyfus Affair, that will expose prejudice and shake France to its core. This affair will reveal the deep-seated anti-Semitism and political corruption within the French establishment. The French army, once a source of pride, is now desperate to prove itself. The military is under immense pressure to find a scapegoat, someone to blame for their failures, and to restore their tarnished honor. In this time of paranoia, a ripped-up note, the infamous bordereau, is found in the German embassy's trash. This seemingly insignificant piece of paper will become the catalyst for a national crisis. The hunt for a traitor begins. The army blames Captain Alfred Dreyfus, a Jewish artillery officer. Accusations fly, and Dreyfus becomes the center of a storm that will test the very soul of France. Remember that fear and suspicion? It's important. France was like a bomb waiting to explode. Losing the war against Germany had left deep wounds. The army was obsessed with getting its honor back, and spying became a national obsession. Every rumor seemed like a sign of betrayal. Then the bordereau appears, a supposed confession of treason. The hunt for the guilty person gets serious. Dreyfus becomes the main suspect. The evidence? Not very strong. It was mostly based on handwriting, which wasn't very reliable, but fear and prejudice don't care about good evidence. The trial of Alfred Dreyfus begins. It's a huge public event. Dreyfus insists he's innocent. "I am innocent!" he cries. But nobody listens. The prosecution's case is weak, based on flimsy evidence and prejudice against Jewish people. They focus on Dreyfus's religion, saying he isn't patriotic and is too ambitious. The verdict: guilty. Dreyfus is stripped of his rank, publicly humiliated, and his sword is broken. He is sent to Devil's Island, a terrible prison far away. Dreyfus becomes a symbol, not of justice, but of a nation blinded by fear. Section 4. Heroes and Villains. The Dreyfus Affair is a human story, a tale of intrigue, betrayal, and the fight for justice. It's a drama that unfolds with real people, each playing a pivotal role in the saga. It's about people caught in lies, ambition, and strong beliefs. The stakes are high, and the consequences are dire. Lives are ruined, reputations are shattered, and the truth becomes a rare commodity. There's Alfred Dreyfus, the wrongly accused captain, now a symbol of injustice. A man whose life is torn apart by false accusations, he becomes the face of a grave miscarriage of justice. He suffers on Devil's Island, hoping to be freed. Isolated and alone, he endures harsh conditions, clinging to the hope that one day, the truth will set him free. Then there's Lieutenant Colonel Georges Picquart, an honest man in the army. He stumbles upon evidence that could exonerate Dreyfus, and he faces a moral dilemma. He finds evidence of a cover-up. The more he digs, the more he realizes the extent of the conspiracy. His discovery puts him at odds with his superiors. He risks everything to expose the truth and help Dreyfus. His courage and determination make him a hero, but they also make him a target. On the other side is Major Ferdinand Walson Esterhazy, the real traitor. A man with a dark past and questionable morals, he is the true author of the incriminating document. He's a shady guy with gambling problems, and he wrote the bordereau. His actions set off a chain of events that would change the course of history. And then there's Émile Zola, the famous writer, who jumps into the fight with his famous letter, J'accuse. His bold move brings international attention to the case, turning it into a cause célèbre and rallying support for Dreyfus. Section 5. A Nation Divided. Imagine France during this scandal. The Dreyfus Affair is all anyone talks about. Newspapers become battlegrounds full of angry arguments, families are divided, friendships are broken, people choose sides. The Dreyfusards, who believe he's innocent, and the anti-Dreyfusards, who think he's a traitor. Newspapers use shocking headlines to stir up hate against Jewish people, making Dreyfus a symbol of Jewish disloyalty. The Dreyfusards, though small at first, believe in justice. Their voices get louder as new evidence appears. Section 6. Tremors in the Republic. The Dreyfus Affair wasn't just a personal tragedy, it was a political earthquake. It exposed the cracks in French society, the fights between the government and the army, the nationalists, and the Catholic Church. The government is trapped, the army wants to protect its reputation. The Dreyfusards want a new trial and expose the army's corruption. The affair causes political chaos. Governments rise and fall, The army, once a symbol of unity, is now seen as corrupt. The Dreyfus Affair shows the dangers of too much power, blind patriotism and hate against Jewish people. Section 7. Justice, eventually. The Dreyfus Affair is a story about never giving up, about truth winning against the odds. It is a tale that spans years, filled with relentless battles, both in the courtroom and in the public eye. The affair begins in 1894 when Alfred Dreyfus, a French Jewish artillery officer, is wrongfully accused of treason. The evidence against him is flimsy, yet the military court convicts him, driven by deep-seated anti-Semitism. Years go by, filled with court battles, protests, and international outrage. The injustice sparks a movement, with supporters rallying for Dreyfus's exoneration. Intellectuals, writers, and ordinary citizens alike take to the streets, demanding justice. The case becomes a symbol of the fight against wrongful convictions and the perils of prejudice. Finally, in 1899, Dreyfus gets a new trial. The world watches closely, hoping for a fair outcome this time. The retrial is a pivotal moment, a chance to correct the grave injustice done to Dreyfus. Imagine it. Dreyfus, weak from prison, returns from Devil's Island. He has endured years of harsh conditions, isolated and far from his family. His spirit, however, remains unbroken, fueled by the hope of clearing his name. He's back in court, a shadow of his former self but still strong. The courtroom is tense, filled with supporters and detractors. The stakes are high and the world is watching. The retrial is still unfair. Despite overwhelming evidence of his innocence, the biases and prejudices of the time persist. The military court, unwilling to admit its mistake, once again convicts Dreyfus. Even with proof he's innocent, Dreyfus is found guilty again. The verdict shocks the world, igniting a firestorm of protests and condemnation. The injustice is too glaring to ignore. But this time, people are furious. The public outcry is louder than ever, and the pressure on the government mounts. The case has become a national and international scandal. The government, scared of more trouble, pardons Dreyfus. It's a reluctant move, a way to quell the unrest. Dreyfus is free, but the pardon is not an admission of his innocence. It's a small victory, but not complete justice. Dreyfus and his supporters continue to fight for full exoneration. The battle is far from over. It takes until 1906 for Alfred Dreyfus to be fully cleared by the French Supreme Court. The long-awaited exoneration is a triumph of truth over falsehood, a vindication of Dreyfus's innocence. The Dreyfus Affair reminds us to fight injustice and that truth matters. It is a powerful lesson in perseverance, the importance of standing up for what is right, and the enduring power of justice.